What's up YouTube? This is Mathwist97 and welcome back to my career for WWE 2K17. This is the 22nd episode of the series, if my calculations are correct. And we are here in Full Sail University for another edition of NXT. And Jett Storm, finally, we're gonna try to form that alliance with Barron Blade.
There's a superstar that I've come to greatly admire on this roster. Each week, I can see him prove how amazing he is in this ring. I'm not sure there's anyone better than him on this roster, well, besides me. Barron Blade, I've got something to tell you, something I never thought that I'd say.
Yes, it was a pretty generic start to the promo, but it was effective, so I guess generic is what gets over here in NXT nowadays. But Barron Blade, he's coming out to the ring with a purpose. He doesn't really, well, now he seems to have calmed down. At first he just seemed really like, I don't know, maybe Blade still doesn't fully trust Storm. This is kind of interesting though. I kind of figured that I'd have to cut some sort of a promo, and I'm guessing like my performance in this promo is going to determine whether or not he forms a tag team with me. That is just my assumption. We'll see how this plays out.
I was in the middle of a very important phone call in the back when you called my name, so I hope this is good. Time is money, so hurry up and say what you have to say. Go, 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 chop, chop, lickety split. We are literally burning money by just standing here and not talking about anything, so lay it on me.
I've come to respect your work a lot recently, more than I have in the past. And I've come to realize that if we partnered up, we'd own this place inside of a year. Let's join forces and teach these punks how it's done.
You know, I knew there was something I liked about you. I knew deep down inside, you were a son of a bitch because you wanted success just as much as I did. I'd be happy to team with a guy like that.
It's happening, folks! It is happening! Barron Blade and Jett Storm are gonna form an alliance! Unless Blade is just setting Storm up to double cross him. Let's hope that that's not the case.
You're damn right. You've made a smart decision, Blade. Forget what these people are telling you. They don't know crap.
Why not why is crap showing up in all these promos? Because they are crap. Oh, anyways.
Now it's you and me. Let's do this thing. As long as you're not stupid enough to turn on me, we should be set. With our respective talents, there is nothing that can stand in our way. We're coming at every other tag team at maximum velocity. Move out of the way, or be annihilated.
Amazing. So it's official, folks. Barron Blade and Jett Storm are a tag team. I'm excited. So here we are back at the NXT match card, and I gotta say, when I first saw that Barron Blade was in the Performance Center in the opening segments of my career, I honestly didn't think that he would actually be playable. I thought maybe he was just there as like a callback, just, you know, put him in the arena as if he were, well, not like, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. Like the fact that he was there, I thought maybe he was like a coach or something. Like they just sort of put him there for the callback's sake, but he wasn't actually like an NPC that you could fight against. But once I saw that he was actually somebody that we could face, I knew that we had to renew the rivalry. But what I didn't expect, which is more of just like a recent sort of change of plans, I wasn't expecting to try to form a tag team with Barron Blade. That was not where I thought this was going to go at all. But honestly, really nothing interesting has happened in NXT other than Storm's feud with Barron Blade. So I feel like here's another opportunity to try to do something different, something that I haven't done in my career before. Let's try to form a tag team and see just how these tag team mechanics work? Are they going to start booking Blade and Storm in tag team matches? Are they going to still book them in some singles matches every now and then? At least this way, doing it, even if it turns out to be a complete failure and the tag team booking is pretty bad, then I suppose, then I know, don't form a tag team again in the future until new information is released that the tag team aspect of it has been improved. But one thing that I do think this could work towards is getting Jett Storm up to the main roster. I think since the whole NXT Championship thing, it's not working. I'm gonna beat Sami Zayn again tonight, and I'm still gonna be third in the rankings because 2K doesn't want Jett Storm to move into the NXT Championship picture. Triple H does not want Jett Storm anywhere near that NXT title. So you know what? I think it's about time that Jett Storm and Barron Blade, well, Barron Blade's he's already got a presence on the main roster at the moment, so I think it's about time that Jett Storm joins him, gets out of this dump that we call Full Sail University, and moves up to the main roster. Come on, hit him, Storm! Ah! And again, I forgot to turn on the hit point stamina gauge. I was supposed to do that between the last match and this one. But for the next videos, I will definitely have that fixed. I think this really would be, like, I'm probably going to stay in NXT for just a little bit longer just to see. I mean, it all depends on how the booking goes. Again, I'm not entirely sure if I need to win the NXT Championship in order to move up to the main roster, or if I can just change my goal and it will automatically jump me to the main roster if I choose to go for the tag team titles. I think that I can just change the championship I want to pursue, and that will be the end of that, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. This could have all been avoided if I had just defeated Samoa Joe in the Performance Center and moved straight into the main roster. But hey, gotta play with the hand that we are dealt, and so we're gonna make the most of this. Jett Storm and Barron Blade, they've got some time in NXT to work out the kinks as a tag team. You'd have to think that Storm and Blade, with their history, there's no way that they're just gonna get along right off the bat. That just isn't gonna happen. So being in NXT gets a good opportunity for these two men to really work out the kinks, figure out what sort of combinations can they come up with, how to adapt to each other's styles, that sort of thing. And then, once they are ready to go, once they have started to gel as a tag team, not necessarily winning the NXT tag team titles either. I really feel like the American Alpha, for example, could have moved up without ever winning the NXT tag team titles. I mean, they were like stupid over in NXT. It was ridiculous how popular those two got. Not to say they didn't deserve it. Chad Gable and Jason Jordan are amazing, and it was just one of those random pairings that just seemed to work. Both of them being amateur wrestlers. I mean, for Jason Jordan, he was in NXT for quite some time, and he never really was able to click with the people, but then pair him up with Chad Gable, and suddenly he just became this beast. And now they're on the main roster. I haven't seen how they've done since being moved up to the main roster because I don't watch main roster stuff because it bores me to tears and it angers me, among other things, to see what they do with their talent. So I avoid it at all costs. But American Alpha, they were great. Perhaps Barron Blade and Jett Storm, this could be one of those sort of thrown together tag teams that actually ends up working out and becoming a huge success, much like the American Alpha. That is our goal anyways. That hopefully is something that we can achieve in the near future rather than the distant future. Because both of these men, Storm and Blade, they have short tempers, they're both short fuses, and couple that with their history with one another, it's, I wouldn't expect it to... Did he just kick out at one? Sami Zayn, you jerk. Just no-selling Storm's finisher like that. Clearly Zayn, he knows that Jett Storm is, well, basically about to get called up to the top. I mean, he's formed this alliance with Blade, and now Zayn is like, you know what? I did all this for NXT, I did all this stuff, and here you are, just... I don't know. I think Sami Zayn is getting tired of having to put over Jett Storm. After all the matches these two have had and how many times. See, look at this. Storm's trying to go off the top rope. Sami Zayn's like, no, No, we're not gonna do this. Sami Zayn, his frustrations really are boiling over. Perhaps Sami Zayn is just getting sick and tired of losing to Storm. I mean, he doesn't feel as though Jett Storm deserves to be moving up to the main roster anytime soon. I mean, think about it. Sami Zayn was practically the John Cena of NXT, in that everybody knew who this guy was. Everybody loved Sami Zayn like people were supposed to love John Cena. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn, big kick to the face, follows it up with another one. Ducks underneath a clothesline, and an arm trap neck breaker taking down Jett Storm. Just like that, Sami Zayn is in this matchup and he is taking full control. Look out, Storm. Blue Thunder Bomb into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, he almost had him, but Storm just able to kick out in the nick of time. And now I think he's looking for the Koji clutch. No, wait, reversed by Storm. Storm knew it was coming. Oh, and there's another boot to the midsection. Zayn is down. Jett Storm. Storm out for the second time in this matchup, and hopefully that's going to do it. Hopefully Sami Zayn is not kicking out of this one. 1, 2, 3. It is all over, folks. Jett Storm with the win over Sami Zayn yet again. Hopefully this is the last time we can face Sami Zayn in singles competition, because this is what, the 3rd or 4th time I've had to beat this guy now. One of them was even outside the ring when he tried to ambush Storm. Clearly this guy just doesn't get the message. And the Authority has the audacity to put Sami Zayn above Jett Storm in the championship rankings? I don't think so. That will not stand. That will not stand in this series. But hopefully, now that this potential tag team with Barron Blade is going to be happening, that means that we won't have to put up with NXT's garbage. We can just move up to the main roster, tear through their competition there. That's the thing also, moving up there rather than going up against a baller tag team, the single best tag team on this planet, not just in NXT but in the entire world, in the Revival. Jett Storm and Blade moving up to the main roster. I'm gonna be honest, their competition up there is not going to be as strong as a tag team like the Revival, because the Revival are the single greatest tag team on this planet. There is no denying that. So what is it you wanted to share with the WWE Universe tonight? Because this question isn't... I'm sick of these questions. This is a repeat question all the way. I want to let the WWE Universe know that I can't stand them, blah, blah, blah. This question... These backstage interviews. I can't stand it. One thing that'd be really cool though with backstage interviews is if you could actually like have a tag team interview. So like Jett Storm and Barron Blade could kind of bounce off of one another with Renee Young doing the interviews. That would be cool. Would probably be just as repetitive as the singles interviews because there's only so many stock questions you can ask. And especially with the promo engine taking up a lot of the focus, I guess not as much attention was placed into changing up the interview questions. But even just like having a second person there to interview would change. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's Barron Blade. I thought maybe Jett Storm was gonna move up to number 2, and sorry for that door slam. It's just the sound effects that occasionally occur in a college dorm. But Barron Blade, finally, I've never been able to say this before, but finally, Jett Storm finally has an ally. Well, even with Zero, I couldn't say that. I never had somebody at a maximum friendship level like that. So that's cool. Finally, something different to the My Career series. So we're gonna be taking on the Devil. Is there? So we get another new face and the phenomenal one. Also have Omar. I'm pretty sure that after each NXT takeover, the faces just refresh. Because he's new, Bobby Lashley is nowhere to be found, so I guess it's just sort of one-off appearances. I think the only way to really keep them in would be to start some sort of a feud with them, I suppose, but even that would only last for like a month, so I really don't know. Also, it'd be cool if you could have like a call-out promo and call out a tag team. Like if I could go out with Barron Blade and call out like Enzo and Cass or something, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. In fact, I'm a bit worried that I'm in a singles match and not in a tag team matchup, but I'm gonna hold off my doubts for the moment and just see how things play out. So I'm not entirely sure who the devil belongs to, whose created wrestler that was. The same can be said. Actually, wait a minute. I think I know who Omar belongs to. I think I know who that belongs to. That's just, again, the whole My Career Invasion thing. Even though this mode has been pretty stagnant thus far, in my opinion, like in terms of the story that it's been lacking to build in terms of the games, like the games side of things. I feel like what I'm trying to do with Barron Blade is hopefully trying to make up for it a bit more, but the game itself isn't really giving me much material to work with other than like the two. I think I got like 2 cutscenes in the Barron Blade rivalry, maybe 3. I'm gonna say 3, give it the benefit of the doubt. But the whole My Career Invasion thing is still really cool, even if it's just I get a match with them and that's it, or I don't even get to face them and I just see somebody show up. Oh, this is a really great created wrestler. I have a feeling this one, I don't know if this is like a glitch and something just didn't go through, or if this was like a template to get like the body morph and the face morph, but they didn't actually put the attire together yet. Like maybe they ran out of time, but they wanted to save their progress and this just happened to show up in My Career. I really don't know. But for people who say that my created wrestlers are generic, no one's actually called me out on that. I'm basically just critiquing myself because you are your own worst critic, is what people say. And that is definitely the case with me. I am very self-critical. Although I feel like I've done a good job with Jett Storm this year. I think 2K15 Jett Storm is incredibly generic, and that was kind of the point, which was, when I say that was kind of the point, I came up with the justification of him being a generic created wrestler, being like, hey, he's just the cookie cutter babyface type thing. That was what I told myself to, and I forgot to, I'm not gonna adjust the hit point yes I am. Yes I am, because I need to know when I hit my finisher. Hey, I said the next episode. I think this is still gonna be part of that last episode unless I decide to cut it halfway, which would be ironic. But when it comes to, I completely lost my train of thought now. Has been known to happen with this being the Tangent series, which I've used that label on several series, my GM mode series, my 2K15 My Career in the past, all were known as the Tangent series just because, for this type of thing. But I feel like this style of commentary, not being in character like I am in universe mode, I feel like there's the door again. I feel like not being in character, it's a nice little change of pace, a bit more of a personal commentary where I can kind of talk about whatever's on my mind and perhaps give you guys some personal stories along the way, like my laptop story, just to, adds a little bit of diversity. A headbutt to the back of the skull there by the devil. Now this would be hilarious if I lost to this guy, like Daniel. Daniel, I never got my revenge on him before he was replaced, after he stole my victory. But if I lost to this guy, this would be hilarious. It'd be a very unfortunate but hilarious state of affairs, in that I criticized how generic this one was, because it's unfinished, obviously. But then for me to go and lose in a match against this guy, that would just be all sorts of irony. It would be glorious irony. Oh, double knees to the face of the devil. As Storm, really that's just like his main assault is using those knees. Wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Look at that. He could, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I was trying to sell that as. He just wouldn't roll over. So he was like a gymnast now or something. I honestly don't know what I was going for there. Oh, wait a minute. Power slam in the corner. Oh, and he drops him down again. And now to the second rope. Oh, but he misses the big time splash. I think this guy has at least a custom moveset, from just judging from what I've seen, but I could be wrong in that regard. I think I'm correct though, because I don't think the power slam in the corner is a default move, but again, the default moves or the default moveset, I should say, those change every year. They change slightly, especially once moves get replaced. But I don't think this guy has a generic moveset, so I think the creator at least got that far. As Jett Storm hits him with a crossbody. No, not even a 2 count. This man, the devil, he might have a generic appearance, but he has the heart of a warrior. So he tried to get his hands on Storm there. Storm doesn't want to let that happen, but it's too late. As the devil slams him off that military press, follows up with a kick to the back. Every time I just see somebody go out there and they don't have boots on, like with Rusev, it was a bit different because he was, I felt like not having shoes at the time kind of fit with his character, what exactly like he was trying to portray. But usually, like in this kind of a situation, when somebody doesn't have shoes, it just looks out of place. Like this guy walking, I mean, this guy just looks out of place. But the fact that he doesn't have shoes for some reason gets me more than anything else about him. It's like he's just, every time you try to go for a kick, I feel like if you're wearing shoes, it's going to be much more powerful than if you're in your bare feet and you just kick somebody in the face. Like the whole thing, the whole glimpse that I caught of the Miz Ziggler match where Ziggler's career was on the line, where he finished him with like a barefooted super kick, like he had on a sock. But to me, that doesn't really, like, I don't picture that as being very damaging, because I feel like that would do more damage to your foot because you're kicking somebody in the chin, and that is like solid bone, whereas your foot, even unless you're kicking that, like even if you're kicking them with like the heel or somewhere where you're like where there's like solid bone in your foot, I still feel like that would really hurt you more so than it would your opponent. Like a barefoot sweet chin music or a super kick, I don't feel like that would be a very effective move. Just me personally. As Storm off the superplex turns it into a brain buster. What athleticism on display there from Storm. As now he punches him square in the face, looking to set him up for the lumbar check. And there's only one thing that could be coming next. As Storm calls the devil to his feet. There's a boot to the midsection, and we all know what's coming next. Jett Storm lines him up for Storm out. And if the devil kicks out of this, I might just quit entirely. 2, 3, it's over. Thank goodness. After the matches with Sami Zayn and him showing his resilience, having the devil, this guy who I've been mocking all episode, having him kick out of Jett Storm's finisher would be true. It would really just not look good on Jett Storm's character. He doesn't take mocking very well, not like I think anybody would. But especially now that he's aligned himself with Barron Blade, going out and getting upstaged by this guy, I think it would be a very short-lived tag team between Blade and Storm. I mean, Barron Blade, we know his ego, so if Storm were to go out there and not live up to standards, I can only imagine what would happen next. My popularity dropped, what the hell? Let's hope for a tag team No! That's supposed to be a tag team match. Why haven't I had one yet? Is Barron Blade even competing? Is he anywhere on the match card? Oh, this is worrisome, this is worrisome, this is worrisome. But that's gonna conclude today's video. Hopefully next time we could maybe get booked into a tag team matchup. Maybe, I mean, that'd be cool. Actually, just out of curiosity, what if I go over, actually, yeah, I wanna check the tag team thing. You must stay in your current ranking until you win its associated championship. Once you do that, you will unlock the ability to go for other championships and the ability to become a double champion. Dag nabbit. So I can't even, wait, by joining, you will lose your place unless you already hold 3 titles. So I can move to the other NXT title, but I guess I have to win an NXT championship of some sort before I can actually move up to the main roster. And personally, I do not want to drop down to number 10 on this list. No, thank you. It has taken me long enough to get to number 3, so I guess I could maybe try to start a feud with Tyson Kidd to move up. I don't know, I'll figure out what to do next, but until next time, keep on YouTubing.